What's going on, collective? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well since our last read, or the last one that you caught from me, or the last one that you caught from any reader out there on YouTube. Thank you very much, Spirit, and to all the archangels, the Galactic Federation of Light, my ancestors, guides, and anybody out there who's a member of the spiritual community. You normally don't burn this long, but I guess there's a little bit of a candle there, I guess, going on somehow. Normally they just fizzle and smoke out. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds out of reverence for our ancestors out there who have been, protecting us from something fierce. And then I'm going to let it fizzle because I want the smoke cleanse. Okay. So, while I'm setting up shop here and shuffling, there are a number of downloads lingering. And I think that's the main download or message. The Ace of Pentacles at the bottom before the shuffle. Is that we need to get the ball rolling on some things that need to take place in order for other things to take place. Yeah, Page of Swords. It's a little bit of a watered down version of the truth. Somehow Ace of Pentacles floating its way back up to the top. Yeah, Spirit's gifting us more or less a new world. You know, it's things are changing rapidly. Energy transits are huge. There's monumental shifts happening. And if that resonates with you, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You are going through massive upheaval of former version of self, stepping into new territory of who you are, or maybe revisiting some areas. Yeah, Nine of Cups at the bottom, getting content with yourself, getting nice and happy, being cool with it. Empress flashing underneath that. Okay, we're not going to take all that just yet, Spirit, but I guess the Six of Swords, Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles are relevant. Someone is... It's like someone's taking a journey, possibly, to deliver either someone or something, information to someone or something, or take someone somewhere else. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chariot comes out in this energy. It is looking like possibly a man and a woman. Yeah, Nine of Cups keeps coming back up, so as well as Ace of Pentacles. Okay, we'll take them. Yeah, High Priestess, Eight of Wands, Three of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. That's another way to say it. Basically, yeah, my intuition's on track there. Somehow that managed to juxtapose its way out there. Spirit, don't miss, man. Okay, and thank you, Spirit. So, Three of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Oakley dokley, then. It looks like someone has this happening, and it's coming in quick. Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Okay, this could still be about... Man, it has been floating around. Love has been in the air or in the atmosphere with Cupid and his equivalents in whatever culture that... Yeah, Ten of Swords. Something's going down. Somebody's getting out of somewhere. There may potentially be a tower that comes out. If it does, Spirit, could you provide me with any additional insight or clarity in either download or cards? Queen of Pentacles, yeah. Somebody's coming in with a love offer. Something substantial. This is not like a small ordeal. There has been toil, labor, maybe blood, sweat, and tears put into this. But realistically, it looks like a lot of truth, information, blessings for you. Yeah, strength coming out. This is going to be something that you like. Okay, yeah. Oh man, Spirit's talking. Okay. This is looking good. Okay. It looks like, in addition to what we have as far as the spread here, Ace of Swords, yes, this is the truth. Seven of Pentacles, the Lovers. There looks to be a bit of, yeah, definitely toil and labor, or possibly fighting or conflict. Seven of Pentacles, there's been a lot put into this, as well as Spirit overseeing the process of all of this in the first place. This kind of looks like something is coming in, and the more that we explore and heal and cleanse, and I mean, this doesn't really look like a whole lot of noise on the board. More than anything else, it looks like positive blessings. You got a lot of pentacles in here. We got a lot of, there's the Ace of Cups, definitely, as well as the High Priestess. You probably consider somewhat emotional or intuitive in that sense. But it looks like the beginnings of something big that involves a blessing, that involves a big truth that it looks like may take some strength to overcome, and you have to go through a period of possibly grief, possibly you might be able to brush it off. Yeah, what's kicking that on me there? Depends on you. Yeah, you could hold on to this or let it go. The Hierophant, Four of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. What do you want to do? You want to let it go, or you want to hold on to it? Either way, you're in the know, and either way, you're protected and you are good to go. I'm gonna take this back in because I think that was just a little segue. Anything else, Spirit, that I'm missing here? Looks like this is this. You know what this is? It looks like there's more to it than somebody knows. Whoever could potentially be the recipient of this offer, or the recipient or circulatory recipient of this information. And it definitely looks like there was some attempt with this Seven of Wands here over the Lovers and the Ace of Swords. There could have been some possibility of someone trying to wrestle with the truth. Yeah, the Hermit. Illuminating that truth there, as well as possibly put you into hermit mode. Yeah, and that may have been what secured your relationship with the truth. Alright, so this last little bit, and then we'll move on to something else. We have quite a few decks. I don't know what's going to come out. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, oh my god. Knight of Wands on one side, Temperance, the Sun, the Emperor, and the Queen of Cups. I mean, something big is going on. This is a lot of very specific spirit, angels, guides, as well as friends and loved ones that are overseeing the entire situation. I mean, we got the Sun in the middle, the Emperor over here. This looks like the relationship is going to be potentially financially secured, as well as guided and protected. Emotionally charged, and looks like satisfied, because the Queen of Cups is feminine, water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and the Knight of Wands is, I'm not sure if it's masculine or feminine. I want to say we'll say it's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius for now. If you know in the comments, please feel free to educate me, because as we know in these tarot streets, your intuition can help tell you a lot, but Spirit is not going to tell you everything. Sometimes you got to go out and look for yourself, and that's part of life. So anything else that needs to come out on this, Spirit? Because I think we're pretty clear. I think somebody just needs to see it. Yeah. Five of Swords. There's been a lot of deception, foul, cruel play, and Three of Pentacles on the bottom. A lot of mean, what seems like gossip or slander, and definitely can't relate, especially if it's somebody out there who knows who this is and they're doing it knowingly. That's like the worst of the worst when it comes down to experiencing that type of thing. And again, my condolences to you. And I can definitely sympathize and empathize on that. My immediate family is probably in the runnings for top 10. Gotta be for cruel inflictions of like knowingly torturing somebody. So, anything else, Spirit? We're gonna go for Wisdom Pocket Oracle. This is our Sunstone. I'm pulling this out, getting organized somewhat here. It is a mix of different things. It is quite pretty. Not sure how well you can get it in there with the lighting, but very pretty. Yeah. To be fair, yeah. Something about this news I'm getting. We haven't tapped into that fully. Something about this news could be potentially bittersweet, or there could be a bit of. I'm surprised the tower didn't come out, but maybe Spirit's handling this as to where we may just see some things that we don't want to see, but we're guided and protected. So Spirit, anything that we need to know here as far as how should we be moving right now? How should we be feeling with all of this going on? Okay. Wow. Blessed and round and round. It looks like this is going to be Spirit intervening in some kind of cycle here. So Spirit, what do we need to do during the process of this intervention? Okay. Come to the edge, as well as all that glitters. So it looks like somebody could potentially be taken. Wow. Truth be told, poised. There could be a split or multiple options here, and it's kind of looking like they're lining up in a certain type of way. One looks like maybe a potential repeat of a cycle. Someone may be utilizing either glamour, magic, or could potentially be trying to glitz themselves up as best they can, because there could be competition. There's two little masquerade masks there, poised right underneath that. You know, kind of looking like, yeah, karmic, trying to come back around and do the thing. And then on the other side of it, we've got blessed, come to the edge, and truth be told. Okay. All right. We've got TikTok, Yang, Loyal Heart. Okay, we're looking at multiple options or potentially different aspects of the same person. We could be potentially, yeah, chaos and conflict and fork in the road. And why? We could be potentially having some internal conflict as to maybe TikTok and chaos and conflict and fork in the road, as well as round and round and come to the edge. Man, it's kind of looking like there are some things that are outside of our control, and I know definitely for me, when I'm cleaning house spiritually, you're going to go through some transitions that if people aren't prepared or don't understand what it is that you're going through, yeah, it says time to go. Someone may be leaving. This may all be the same situation. This could potentially be as a result of decisions. Yeah, we could, from Loyal Heart right there and Yang. We could be talking about a yin yang. We could be talking about the real deal. And then we've got Thinker. Spirit right next to Truth Be Told. And Time for a Nap. at the bottom of the deck. I think, yeah, maybe we just need to keep going. Regeneration, new life. Keep going with what it is that we're going to be doing, flexible, and take it one step at a time. Happy, happy, by the book, and soulmates. I do love penguins, and that is the most romantic penguin card I've ever seen. So, you out there, if you figured out who you are, yeah, definitely love to go see some penguins sometime. That'd be spectacular. Between Worlds, Higher Power, Orphaned, time for nap, kicking back out again. Someone could be going on potentially a vacation or getting away from all the madness, it looks like, at the foundation of it. Yeah, fork in the road. Chaos, conflict, why, TikTok game. Maybe we're transitioning this way, I think, towards the thinker, ironically. Yeah, higher power, clean it up, exchange gifts. Sounds like there could be some reconciliation that needs to take place internally. Somebody, or yeah, peace. It needs to find their inner peace. Thank you, Spirit. Treasure and imagine, building blocks, happy, happy, mending. And that's a lot of cards, but that's kind of the same message, just reiterated several times over. I almost had something kick out of me there. Yeah, milk and honey, mending again, co-create. It's looking like these peeps, whoever these two little star-crossed lovers are, could potentially be in for a love of a lifetime. And it looks like there's still some mending that needs to take place, either separately. Yeah, never-ending story. Could just be somebody needs to make a move. And my never-ending story there kind of looks like I don't know who needs to make a move, so maybe it's not me. Let's go ahead and get a little clarification on that spirit. Sodalite we got here helps to work with the third eye, as well as protection of the third eye. It's surprisingly light for its color and what you want to think of it. Super light, Sodalite. Very interesting. Okay, so Spirit, let's see what's going on with these lovers. I promised myself, not really promised, but I just kind of tried to convince myself that I didn't want to be a tarot reader that focused entirely on love. Yeah, dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. See the big picture. Yeah, it looks like a reconciliation. And interestingly enough, two bovines coming out. One looking somewhat masculine, one looking somewhat feminine. This is a very beautiful ranger in their spirit. Love to see it come out. Yeah, bee spirit. Sweet results await. I think someone is getting nudged and synchronized to the point where they don't even know if what they're seeing is the real deal, because there's no way that their synchronicities could be, this abundantly clear. And I just think that's the spirit letting you know, hey, no, I'm everywhere, I'm everything, I'm everyone, so long as they let me in their heart, and I will, let them make that choice on their own. What else do we need to know about this situation, Spirit? Is there anything we can give the collective to alleviate any tension that they might have, or do they just need to kind of suck it up right now and go with the process and have some faith and trust in themselves? Let's see. Anything else, Spirit? You make me work with those. Getting a little better at the overhand shuffle there, but still not the greatest. Let's see. I'll take them. Yep, okay. We will work with that. We might get a little deeper on one or two of these, I think. Yeah. Wow. Surrender now. From the moth spirit. Spider spirit. Make your dreams real. And peacock spirit. Let it shine. Yeah, so on one hand, we've got some reconciliation, and spirit basically just kind of, when you take a look at what's being illuminated or who is being illuminated. And my goodness, if you figure out who you are, I must say, you are absolutely radiant, and the anonymity of that could badger spirit. Be fearless and bold. You're drop dead gorgeous. You're beautiful. I've been spitting with you ever since I crossed eyes with you the first time, and I've felt your presence flow in and out of my life in proximity in ways that has stirred something ancient and deeply romantic, as well as gentle, but firm, if that suits your fancy. So, I'm thinking, dear spirit, yeah, bring a gentle touch. We need to focus on getting back to communication basics. And maybe timing could potentially be one of those things, but let's take it easy because it is all in divine timing. So, dear spirit, bring a gentle touch. Oracle message. The time has come to be gentle and diplomatic when dealing with others. You might have found yourself in a situation where negotiations are necessary in order to reach your goal. Be mindful of the words you choose, but do not worry. Dear Spirit reminds you that you have the ability to be sure-footed and confident while showing humility and respect for others. You will find that your capacity for calm and grounded communication is heightened at this time. Follow the way of the deer spirit, and you will do well, gaining the respect of others and finding common ground that is pleasing to you. Remember that understanding others and their needs will be more powerful at this time than you putting your own first. If you do that, you will be rewarded tenfold. Protection message. Dear Spirit is bringing you a gentle warning that is now not the time to engage in an argument. No matter how volatile others are being, do not match their intensity with your own. If you are dealing with an overly assertive person, step back and disengage, lest you agree to something out of alignment with your intentions. Don't let anyone bully you into anything you're uncomfortable with. Okay, maybe I'm picking up on as well with the way that this is unfolding and some things that kind of may have paged over a little bit. I think maybe potentially someone may be separating, and someone might be going through some karma, but I think Spirit's getting you out of there. So some reassurance, you're going to be protected. You'll be all right. Everything that's coming out seems like it's more of an encouragement phase, but also a surrendering phase towards things and tendencies and behaviors, or maybe even just thoughts that could potentially be in the way. And the releasing process of that could get messy, especially if you're in your own internal space and someone's trying to chime at you. It could be potentially difficult to explain that in the middle of working out certain cleansing processes, especially if those things are like mental and you've ever experienced like any sort of like crown, third eye manipulation, throat manipulation. It definitely pays to like want to sit and meditate and get those energies attuned to their right frequencies so that you aren't running down any sort of rabbit holes. And then if you do, that you allow your angels and your guides or maybe someone else to kind of nudge you out of them a little bit. And I know I'm guilty as anybody else. I Thinker came out as a reminder, I think, for me, as well as possibly you, collective. But I'm getting, you may not be as caught up in the thought process um, as you once were before it seems like you started making some changes. So that's good. We're making progress in the right direction. But I still think we might be overthinking here and there. It's about managing it and knowing when to be able to work on it actively, because it's going to wear on you if you're new to the process, especially if it's something that's deep-seatedly painful. It's you got to feel that to heal it, and sometimes those reoccurring traumas can be very difficult to manage, especially if you're doing it on your own. Do not match their intensity with your own. If you are dealing with an overly assertive person, step back and disengage, lest you agree to something out of alignment with your intentions. Don't let anyone bully you into anything you are uncomfortable with. You have solid footing if you stand your ground with grace. Those who disagree will begin to find their own gentleness and willingness to compromise. Dear Spirit also brings the message that today it might be easy to offend someone or take offense because someone lacks diplomacy. Let all of that pass. You are not meant to take this world personally. While it's a beautiful gift to be sensitive, today you need a tougher hide so that any compromises you make allow you to maintain your integrity. Okay. I'm getting as well, there could be a lot of difference in culture potentially between you and this person, or just the way that you operate. Yeah. Giraffe spirit there. See the big picture. I think we're going to read that one. I think everything else is more or less self redundant. Spider spirit, make your dreams real. Weaving the webs, making sure you're doing things in the right capacity to yield results. Sweet results await. Bee spirit, self redundant with the honey. I think we're in there. I think we're good. So let's hit giraffe spirit, and then we're gonna get out of here. All right. Hopefully everyone's Saturday is going well. Giraffe spirit, see the big picture. Oracle message. Giraffes stretch upward to reach the treetops and look down from a high vantage point. When giraffe spirit appears, it is a sign to observe from a higher view. In all aspects of your life, it's time to stretch your neck out and broaden your view. Open your eyes to what others need or are experiencing, and see the big picture you fit into. No matter how great your wisdom, knowledge, or experience, you don't want to overlook details and connections that will help you better understand yourself and your circumstances. So stretch yourself. Look beyond what catches your attention at eye level, and know that not everything is as obvious as you might like it to be. Spirit will bestow upon you a new perspective that might make all the difference. Protection message. Are you sticking your neck out too far, reaching too high instead of looking around you to see the conditions on the ground? Your devotion to co-creating something new is admirable, but Giraffe Spirit is showing up to remind you that you have to look at the whole picture, not just those tasty leaves at the top of the tree. Perspective is necessary now, and that means checking in with what is going on around you and at your feet. Or perhaps you are ruminating over the worries of the world instead of paying attention to what you can do right now, where you are, to bring about the changes you would like to see. Align with your highest good and know that while perspective is important, transformation begins where you are. Do not get so far up in the clouds thinking about all the big problems that you lose perspective and forget to do your part, however small it may be, to start enacting change. The transformation begins with you. Well, it sounds like we just need to be a little gentle with ourselves and with others, and especially if we're approaching things in the spiritual sense. Things can get very confusing very quickly, and it's best to communicate as much as you can. But there's a time, place, and method to facilitate very beautiful and healing communication. So we're going to go ahead and get on out of here, collective. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you so much to my guides, the archangels, my ancestors, Galactic Federation of Light, the Feds, all you spiritual beings out there. Love and light to you. I hope you are well. See ya!